Hello folks, welcome to another apple tasting, second one of the 2023-2024 season. We've got 12 different varieties here. Some of them are new, are they, Nigel? A lot of them are new.
One or two we haven't done before. There's a mixture of English and a few from overseas. We've got a few old favourites as well. One from America, one from Germany. And some from Leicestershire as well. You may be aware that I run Leicestershire Heritage Apples with Mel Wilson. She does the events in the north of the county and I tend to do the ones in the south. Right, shall we make a start then?
Yeah.
Right, now the first one is a German apple. It's pronounced Weirouge, but it's actually spelled with a W. And this is quite interesting because as some of you will be aware already, it's red inside. And this year it's got quite a nice flavour. Last year it was rather sad and sour, but this year it's not bad. I'll just show you the flesh colour there on the camera.
Shall we zoom in?
Yeah, you can. There we go. We particularly like this sort of apple with some salads because it's slightly tart and not too sweet. What are you going to score that up then, Julie, as a dessert apple?
Well, to me it's 3.5.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, about 3.5, because it's not really sweet enough to enjoy on its own.
No.
But it is good with something else, with other fruit or with cheese or something like that.
I mean, you could eat it, but
it's a bit different.
It's not exceptional.
No. If you've got a blindfold on, it wouldn't be in your top 10, for example.
No.
But it's got a nice colour. The next one is an old English apple called Darcy Spice. This has been known for 2 or 3 centuries. And it's a classic old English variety, slightly tart, nice and sweet.
Crisp.
And crisp, but you can tell that when you listen when I cut it. There you go.
Thank you.
As you can see, we're at the marina again today, which is our new venue. It's a bit on the tart side, isn't it?
The skin's a bit hard for if you got a false teeth. But it's not bad. I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a 4. It's quite a nice concentrated flavour, and it's you'd have no difficulty eating the whole thing. Our next one is a Leicestershire apple. This was bred by the head gardener at Belvoir Castle, and it's known as Barnack Orange. Barnack is a little village just outside Stamford in Leicestershire. Oh, there's a fruit fly there. Put that bit there. So Barnack Orange. It's a very reliable cropper. And they're just about ready now, which is mid-season. And this is one of the better Leicestershire apples. It's nice and sweet, not too hard.
I think that deserves another try.
That's jolly good, isn't it, that?
Yeah.
It's in a different class to the other two. Now, do you want to explain the scoring system, Julie, for those that have not met us before?
We both score out of 5. 5 is excellent, there's nothing can be any better. 4.5, it's nearly there, but there's something not quite right. 4 is, very good. 3 is can't make up a mind. It's okay. It can be perfectly well to eat. And then less than that, it's not very good.
Yeah, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
If, you can't really eat a whole one if it's less than 3. Well, I reckon that's a good 4, possibly a 4.5, I think.
I'm going to give that a 5.
Yeah, okay.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so it's a very good apple, that. I'll give it 4.5. I find it a little bit tart, but nevertheless, it's quite high sugar, so it's got a good flavour balance.
No, that's excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
Everything about it, the skin's fine, there's no aftertaste.
Right, the 4th one is another Leicestershire apple. This is the Packington apple. The old lady from whom I got this variety was 90 when I met her, and she was very insistent. It's ripe on October the 12th. I think it's the 11th today, so it should be okay.
Oh, it's a really white one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very white inside, yeah. And you can cook this or eat it. It's a genuine dual-purpose apple. Well, that's pretty good. Completely different flavour to the previous one.
These are totally different to supermarket ones. Really nice.
A bit more.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. I think it's going to score quite well. It's got a different sort of sweetness to the other one, and it isn't quite as tart. And I would think I would regard it as an eating apple that you can cook with, rather than a cooker that you can eat. Well, it's a good 4.5 again for me. What are you going to say, Julie?
It's a 4.5 for me as well, because what lets it down is the skin.
Yeah, it's slightly tough, isn't it? Just a little bit, yeah.
Not too bad, but yeah.
It's a very reliable cropper as well, so it's a nice tree to have in the garden, and I'm pretty sure it's self-fertile. A third Leicestershire apple. This one is Leicester Burton Pippin. We found this, Mel Wilson found this in an abandoned orchard just outside Burton-on-Trent. It was described in Hogg, that's the directory of English apples, written over 100 years ago, as a cooker with little, if any, taste. But I suspect that Mr. Hogg was given an apple which was not in the best of states. It was probably picked prematurely, because we found this is a nice dessert apple. Completely different flavour to the ones we've seen already. It's sweet, but I've had people, when we've done tastings of this, say that they can taste a hint of custard powder or vanilla. It's got a very warm sort of flavour. Right, what's your impression of that one, Julie?
It's not bad, but for me that's a 4.
Yeah, the skin's not very good, is it?
No.
It's a bit tough.
It's
It's
lacking a bit on the taste, but it's got a unique taste.
Yeah.
Not so sharp, it doesn't...
Yeah, it's very low acid, that is.
Yeah.
It's very low acid.
Yeah.
This one, if you're familiar with supermarket apples, I don't think you'd be able to tell what it is, because it's quite a small apple. And it's actually a gala. Now, if you buy a gala in a supermarket, it's a completely different size and colour to this. It's much larger, sweeter, and I guess juicier. When they produce apples for supermarkets, they frequently use a clone of the original apple. And clones are sometimes bigger and sweeter. not absolutely sure this has developed very well.
No.
I think I have another one, let's see. Yeah. This one's a bit bigger. Let's see if this one's any better. There you go, Julie, see what you went to there.
That's definitely better.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, sweeter, bit juicier. I think it's about a 4 for me. It's crispier, yeah, it's nice and firm and it's crunchy and crispy. It's a sort of middle of the road flavour. Nothing spectacular in the flavour, but it's the sort of apple you could eat most days. 4, yeah. Right, next one is a relatively recently developed apple. This belongs to Frank Matthews Nurseries, and it's known as Surprise, spelt with a Z. It's been around for about 20 years, but only released about 10 years ago. Oh, and it's what an awful colour it is in the middle. Now, let's just zoom in. And surprisingly, that is not rot. It looks as though it's gone bad, but it's not rot, it's something called glassiness. And when you get a dry period followed by a lot of rain, what happens to the fruit, it frequently goes translucent. And this is sometimes called glassiness or water core. It usually makes the apple sweeter, but it means it won't keep. See if it's any good, Julie, because does it taste peculiar? They frequently taste a bit of pineapple when they get water core. Well, I'm afraid.
It's got no taste to it.
No, that apple tastes as if it's got something wrong with it. So you know, it hasn't.
Thanks for giving me that.
So yeah, I think we're going to have to give that a thumbs down. Not very good this year, but it's the fault of the weather.
2.5 that.
Yeah, I'm going to give mine a 2, I think. Yeah, so watch out for water core.
Oh, it's got an aftertaste as well.
Yeah, it's generally a good apple, but my particular source of these doesn't seem to produce very good ones. Right, next one is Sunset. This is a Cox's Orange Pippin seedling. It looks a little bit like a Cox's Orange, but it's lighter. It hangs quite late. Oh, it's a bit soft. It's possibly past its best, I think. Sort of tangy flavour, a little bit like a Cox. A bit more.
Taste is quite good.
Yeah, it
The
is.
skin's a bit.
Yeah, the skin's a bit tough, and the texture's a little bit too soft. Still think it's worth a 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, we're down to our last row then. Next one is an American apple called Wixon. This is a very tasty apple, cream-coloured flesh, quite small. You can see it's what you might call a children's apple size. In fact, they sell children's apples in the supermarkets now. It's very tangy and very high sugar. very concentrated flavour. What are you into that? Doesn't do anything for you?
No, I don't like it.
I like that. I'm going to give that a 4.
No. 2 from me.
Okay.
I like it.
Right, three nice dessert apples to finish with. This is an apple that we found growing wild in Seagrave. So we just call it the Seagrave apple. With a lovely appearance, as you can see. Apples are a bit larger than normal. Or rather, what I meant to say was they're larger than average. This variety is quite a big apple.
Mm.
Yeah, just firm enough. It's a lovely balance of flavours. No nasty aftertaste. I think I'm going to give that a 5.
I'm going to give that a 4. I think the skin lets it down big time. It's really,
Oh, I didn't notice that.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
let's just have
It's
another
stuck
bit.
in your throat.
A little bit more.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah,
Just
I'll-
confirm.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I'm going to stick with the 5 though. I think that the flavour makes up for it. I think it's a good one. So that means 9 for the total there.
Mm.
Next one is a slightly smaller apple called Piccolo. This is again quite a recent introduction. Oh, it doesn't.
It's very soft.
Very soft, yes. Don't like the sound of that. Cream coloured flesh. Looks great. There are sort of stripes of pink in this flesh as well. Oh, it's let down by the softness, isn't it?
I quite like it. I think need another piece there.
Okay. The skin just vanishes. That's good.
That's a 4.5 for me.
Yeah, on reflection, I think I agree. It is worth 4.5. It's got a nice concentrated flavour, and the aftertaste is
And the
pleasant
skin
as well.
just
The skin just
dissolves.
vanishes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. And our last one is Ribston. This is an old favourite. We've come across this many times before. The Victorians reckoned this was the best flavoured English apple. And on its day, if you pick it exactly the right time and in a good year, it will come top in virtually any apple tasting. So I'm wondering what it's like this year. I can see a little bit of water core in it, so they haven't ripened absolutely the best. Not quite firm enough when I'm cutting it. It's very sweet. Skin's good.
It's funny because I find it the skin's quite hard.
Yeah, it's always difficult with fruit because people's perceptions vary so much. Yeah, I find the skin there reasonably okay.
Let's try another piece.
Yeah, let's get your bit from where it's most coloured, see if you can see that better. The coloured side of a fruit, by the way, if you've got a blush on a fruit, the coloured side has got more sugar under the skin, so it does actually taste different to the other side.
That's a 4.
Yeah, agreed. It's not a 4.5, is it? No, the flavour's not strong enough. But it's a good, solid, middle-of-the-road apple. Perhaps it'll be better next year if we don't get the apples sort of baked on the trees in June. Okay, what have we got? We've got Barnack Orange coming top, Packington, surprisingly, coming second, and and we've got Seagrave and Piccolo, both scoring 9.
And we've got some 8s, so
so that only
totally different to last week, the last apple tasting.
Yeah, only one failure this time, surprise. So here's, let's just hold this a bit closer so you can read it. There we go. Will it zoom? Yeah. There we go. Right, I hope you found it interesting, and we hope to see you again in the fairly near future.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.